As I said, I'm Andrew Kroos. I'm from Hexagon Mining. I look after Europe, Middle East, and Africa for Hexagon. Everybody knows Hexagon, a strong Swedish company. So who is Hexagon at a glance? So Hexagon is a Swedish founded company with a leading focus on information technology, productivity, and quality improvement. We have a vital range of industries with more than 18,000 employees over 50 countries. Within that, we reinvest 10 to 12% back into our overall technology. Actually, in the mining industry, we do much higher than that, more than 20%. We have 3,400 employees just in R&D and 3,200 active patents. Not bad for a Swedish company. So presently, last year, we finished the year $3.3 billion in revenue and a healthy, nice operating margin. We operate in a range of industries, and really I'm just going to mention this briefly, but you look at it in geospatial, manufacturing, engineering, through brands you may have heard of like PPM, Intergraph. We operate in agricultural scenarios, positioning intelligence, mining. Mining was actually one of the first verticals, and we'll get into that in just a second, but with a focus just on your industry. So within mining today, we have over 550 global employees around the world. 17+%, it's actually over 20. 30 offices across all the continents in the world except Antarctica. As soon as somebody starts mining towards penguins, I'll be there. And we have a life of mine commitment. And what does that mean? So for a life of mine commitment, it means doing everything from your long-term geological model into your actual production and reconcile back into your model, so that you can actually know what your ore body is, the investments you're making, the revenue that's coming from it, the production that's coming from it, all the way back. So generically speaking, what is our value proposition is Hexagon Mining seeks to be one company with an unparalleled portfolio for the mining industry. On the surface or underground, all connecting parts of the mine with our technologies. And our mission is to shape smart change. So smart change means not doing the things we were doing before, but actually integrating the latest of technology to increase production, decrease cost, and improve safety. And our vision is to be the #1 smart technology partner. So we're in it to win it as a Swedish company. A little bit about our timeline. You'll see some of these brands that are maybe recognizable to you, but 1970, MineSite, one of the largest planning software companies in the world, was founded. 1997, Devex, a Brazilian fleet management company, was founded to help out Vale in Brazil. In 2003, Leica Geosystems Mining, Leica, the classic survey equipment, purchased a company called Jigsaw and founded a fleet management company and a division specific to mining. In 2008, SafeMine was founded to help with collision avoidance in the South African market, a Swiss company. In 2010, the Australian company MyPlan was founded, and missing on that slide deck is the IDS GeoRadars, a very popular company out of Italy. And all of these were put together in 2015 to form Hexagon Mining, a unique vertical just for the mining industry. So when you look across our different digital solutions, it goes everything from planning, ore exploration, modeling, design, scheduling, into the operations of fleet management, machine guidance, real-time machine health, prognostic analytics of health, collision avoidance, fatigue monitoring, vehicle intervention. We actually stopped the major haul trucks from hitting cars in the market. Automation, so we actually have semi-autonomous and autonomous vehicles. Auto spot, auto guidance, reverse guidance to improve productivity of those activities in the haulage cycle. And survey, our total stations, laser scanners, airborne, long-range scanning. Many of those brands you'd see typically would have been the Leica or the IDS. And all of this is to enable a enterprise platform. So, but today, we're here to talk about the underground solutions. So specifically, you'll see, actually today at Hexagon Live in Las Vegas, a renewed focus of Hexagon Mining in the underground space. And there's a number of reasons for this. First, generically speaking, in the underground mine, we found the stuff that's easy to mine. And there's a lot of mining technology or underground technology that is able to be leveraged across tunneling, multiple underground technologies. And it has some unique challenges of higher cost, confined spaces, no GPS, so it helps with some of your positioning. and some of the human condition stresses that are just intrinsic to working underground. So one of the product lines we've launched in the last year for this space specifically is the Hydra U monitoring system. And this is an underground monitoring system from the IDS guys, famous for their slope monitoring. As opposed to slope monitoring in the open pit, this is more of your roof monitoring to monitor in real time for sub-millimetric movements, to monitor those danger zones within your underground mine to ensure there aren't any collapses, or at least give you the alerts prior to the collapses becoming a safety incident. And there's a number of specific details on this. It's built for the underground environment. It is quickly compact, light to be moved, as you know that your danger zones move as you move throughout the underground mine. For specific information on that, my colleagues will be there in the booth next to us, just around the corner, and you can ask questions if you're having problems with slope and roof failure. As well in the underground mapping space, and this comes out of the Leica family, and you'll start to see how it all starts to stitch together. So within the Leica family, you have a number of different technologies like total stations, these great Pegasus line, which includes backpacks and roof-mounted mapping technology. So that as you can see, you can work all the way through the mine and actually map the mine. And this helps you have a real-time visibility of what's going on in the mine that you can import back into your overall visibility of the system. The product that we're launching at Hexagon Live today, which you'll sort of co-launching here as well, is the Mine Operate Underground Pro. And it is a real-time fleet management system that leverages the other technologies to create a real-time visibility and safety solution in the underground mine. So what is Mine Operate Underground Pro? Name that just rolls off the tongue. It is a tablet-based system that provides fleet equipment and optimization and task management in real time. It uses existing mine communications. So if you have everything from Wi-Fi to LTE to leaky feeder. It's a platform to track the movement, monitor the task level activities, modifying miner workflows, and it's sort of that critical first step in digitizing what's historically been a manual operation in underground mines. So generically, what does it speak? Look, it is like many software-based solutions. You'll see it has a desktop interface that gives you a real-time visualization of what's going on in the mine, your equipment, the task it's operating on, the status. And really, it fits into that mold of short interval control. And short interval control is a relatively recent buzzword that has integrated the underground mining market, what we used to call short-term planning and execution. So what do we plan to do this shift? What have we done? Reconcile it back. What are we going to do next shift, leverage the information we had on the last shift? And in this case, it's taking parts of the business that we described earlier, the knowledge and expertise in planning coming from the mine site business, into the actual production that's being done in the fleet management and the integration between these two technologies. So no longer do you have a shift in, the guys come up, they bring up the plan of what they actually accomplished, then it gets handed over to the planners who spend the next shift reconciling what was done and always staying one shift behind. So you know, as it's being assigned, what's being accomplished, it's coming out to the mobile unit, which is then a tablet-based solution that tells you what actually happened, tells you what task you should do next after you've accomplished your, as you're the underground miner, I finish task A, I move on to task B, and then it reconciles it all the way back. And if you know that the work is only partially completed, or a task has been fully completed, it allows the planners to plan for the next shift. Who needs to go with what equipment and what tasks need to be done? So then the loop is actually then complete, aka the short interval control. So how does it work? So generically, this is the architecture. You've got web-based clients operating in a dispatch center. You've got your standard report servers, your databases, the generic IT infrastructure you need to accomplish the task. Then you have a communication architecture. And again, this supports the variety of comms that are prevalent in underground, historically leaky feeder, more recently Wi-Fi, and now you see why LTE is becoming a prevalent standard in the underground mines. So it starts with managing the shifts in their tasks. So this is in the real time what would appear on a screen. I've actually seen mines that have giant whiteboards set up, and they're generically grabbing the pictures of the staff, matching them to the picture of the equipment, and then putting it against the task that needs to be completed, and spending up to an hour and 2 hours between shifts actually doling out assignments. In this case, it's all done automatically. So you know the equipment, the operators that are available on that shift, and who has the training records and expertise to operate which equipment and do which tasks. And this allows you to automatically do a cycle and do assignments and know, okay, this person should be working on this piece of equipment to do this task, and this task is the most optimal in our task cycle to get the accomplished done for the day. It monitors your locations and headings, so it does this through a variety of technologies. Depending on what is available in the mine, if it's a leaky feeder, you can use the old RFID, which is an old and expensive way to get around your location heading. If you have a Wi-Fi, it uses signal degradation to know your distance from the path. And we've also launched a series of Bluetooth anchors that can be slapped on the mine and work for up to 2 years at a low cost and do signal degradation from known Bluetooth access points. As shown earlier, we could see that map and see that after we've driven through the mine and we've done the mapping of the mine, we know where the tunnels are, where the locations are, where the headings are. And so this is where the technology starts to come together within Hexagon. So we can import that in so you can have a real-time 3D visualization of your mine. You can show where the equipment is moving around in the mine in the fleet management system. And should you have a roof failure, we can shut down that road segment and send that information out to the mobile units to avoid more equipment heading towards the danger zone. In terms of the onboard system, it uses a tracker system for the LHDs, you know, your destination, your headings, your stockpiles, your OEM interfaces, so you can actually keep track of the status of the equipment in real time for real-time machine health monitoring. That also allows you to do some of your auto cycle counts, so the less the operator has to touch the button, the better the data gets. Now, when it comes to real-time fleet management systems, there's two elements you have to consider. First is the tasks that are being accomplished, which is very important in underground mining because if you can't start the next task until the task before it is completed. And then from another perspective, you've got your time allocation, which is your utilization and availability. Obviously, generic terminology for those who may not know, utilization is or availability is the amount that the equipment is available to you from the maintenance department, and utilization is your utilization of that equipment when it's available. And by tracking that as well, then you can keep track of the amount that you're, maintaining your largest asset, your yellow fleet. All of this runs across Android tablets. As you can see, this is Hexagon has decided to proactively enter the industry and say the days of proprietary hardware, the days of having overly complex installations are over. So we use, and most frequently, is the Samsung Tab Active 2 tablets, one that you can buy on the market. You can go into your local electronics store. These come in rugged cases, RAM mounts, and with ruggedized harnesses, as well as smartphone apps for keeping track of your data. So all of this is off-the-shelf tablets, very quick and easy to use. And for those that have some of the older hierarchical infrastructure, we still support things like leaky feeders, RFID tags through ruggedized industrial platforms, though obviously as more and more Wi-Fi and LTE becomes prevalent in the underground mines, this becomes less relevant. And we're always innovating. So you'll start to see a series of innovations coming on, machine learning, energy and fuel management modules, multiple third-party integrations. We're bringing our safety suite of information that we'll be talking about tomorrow into the underground mines. Always a healthy roadmap of innovation. Reporting in your hands. So obviously the days of an old report that has to be generated in a proprietary system are over. And as a system, it definitely pays for itself. So this is an example out of a Brazilian mine where the production went up significantly. We can go through those details in the booth later if you have any questions. This didn't give me a lot of time on this, so I'm going to jump to that. And any questions, I've got probably 1 minute to take questions. No? A lot to get through in 20 minutes, but I'll be right around the corner if you have any questions. Thank you.